instantly disappointed people, and welcome to the Steel Toe Evening Show. April will be here. Relax. I know I'm not the star of this outfit, but I will do for the first half hour, 45 minutes. It'll be okay. I promise you. She will be here to giggle and snicker and make eyes at you and all of that shit. Or as Phoenix says, where's the tits? They're on their way. I promise. It is the first Monday of the football season, so oh, Jesus. Maybe we turn it off before we... It's the first Monday of the football season, and so I'm already a little shaky. I'm already a little bit nervous about how tonight's show is going to go. The evening shows have been going great. The morning shows have been holding to where they grew to, so I'm happy with where the show's at, but you know, I've got this weird, next week we're going to do the evening show, the Monday evening show. We're going to do it Sunday night. So if you want to make a mental note of that, we're going to be doing the Monday evening show on Sunday night this coming week because the Vikings are going to be playing on Monday night. Now, I'm not missing that. That makes me think that, you know, maybe you... Maybe you move it to Sunday during the football season all the time. Then again, what's one Sunday when the Vikings play? You know, big deal. I don't fucking know. I don't know. Look, if the numbers are bad tonight, I'm going to have something to think about. If they're kind of in their normal range, you know, then whatever. We work with it. If we miss the goal and the numbers are shitty, then I'll go. What I usually do in those instances is I usually just go to bed, I cry a bunch, and then I hold a rope, and I think about it for a while, and then I go, you know what? I haven't even fired everyone yet, so we're definitely not at this point. And then I feel better. See? Every problem has a solution. Marquise Harris says, what I miss, where the chick at? The chick will be here, I promise. Half hour, 45 minutes. Scram Inc. says, I'm from Oregon, so Minnesota is basically France to us. I understand that. Max says, yeah, I won't be here Sunday night. Fuck that. Do it Saturday night. Well, I mean, since this seems to be a negotiation now, I will say my counteroffer would be suck my dick. I don't know. We'll figure it out. At any rate, we got a couple of house cleaning items. Then we got a couple of things to talk about tonight. And then we have some fun videos to watch. And we got some people to check up on. We have a DSP checkup. Apparently, Cactus Jack. Somebody paid Cactus Jack, not McFoley, not Mankind, but paid Cactus Jack to do a cameo for DSP. So I'm sure that's remarkably humiliating. We see the end, potentially the end or a suspension, I don't know, of my favorite DSP channel. My favorite one is gone. Snort Hogan. We'll talk about it in a little bit. But I like Snort Hogan because unlike the rest of them, they were nice short clips. They were perfect for a talk show. You want to talk about DSP? Boom. Snort Hogan's like your own personal producer. And he's got these great 1-2 minute clips. Perfect for a talk show. Everyone else is like 12, 15 minutes. And you got to search around them. And I don't blame them for that. I mean, look, it's their channel, not mine. But in terms of, you know, for how I use it, that was my guy. And apparently he got taken down or Phil struck him or something. We'll talk about it a little bit later tonight. Shitty Imposter Syndrome says smashed, and he did it with a black thumb. That's very nice. Guys, please do remember to
hit the subscribe button, smash that like button, and click the bell to get notifications.
Chevrolet JB says, why don't you go back to the radio days and just call the game? Be better than the radio guys. Here's the problem. When it comes to football, not enough people who watch this show give a fuck to actually watch the game, but enough people give a fuck to watch the game that it cuts into our number pretty good. Citizen M says, who are these podcasts? Has like 3 review girls. Have you ever considered hiring more women? Absolutely. It saves you like what, 30%? Sure. I'm a bottom line kind of guy. I mean, this company right now with the advertisers in the last 12 months that have dropped off, we're skin of our teeth right now hanging on to everybody as it is. So if you can save me 30%, I'll at you, boy. Raziv Chaz says, I smashed the report button. Did I do it right? No, that's the opposite of what we need. We need this one.
Hit the subscribe button, smash that like button, and click the bell to get notifications.
Did we get that order? Did we understand? I want to make sure we understand it before we move on today. Good. Eccentric Sea Wizard renewing their membership, and there we start. $2.95 away from our goal tonight. Let's get there. Let's knock that goal out. Let's throw into that PayPal link that's in the chat. Let's do some super chats and some memberships tonight. Let's hit that all-important goal, break even, and keep this show going the way it is. $2.95 away from that goal. You know how it works on the evening shows. Let's knock it under 200 by 9 o'clock, and I think we've got ourselves a good little path to knocking it out. And, of course, if we hit that goal, not only does it keep your favorite show on the air, but it also gives us a half hour of overtime to do at the end of the night. Rusty Grammer says, all right, brother, I'll leave it to y'all to do the deed. I need to get back to working with both hands. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Should we start the show? No Pen 15 fathead. April did not leave me. April is dropping the kids off at the moment, and that is not a euphemism for taking a shit. She will be here in about a half hour, 40 minutes. So we'll struggle through it, and she'll be here soon. A couple of things I wanted to go over quick before we jumped into things. It was real funny. I thought we had a great show this morning. I thought we had a lot of fun. I thought it went really well. Numbers right along with where they usually are. And the first thing Johnny says when the camera's turned off and everything else, Johnny looks over at me and he goes, God, I fucking suck today. And I'm sitting here on cloud nine. I'm like, I'm happy. The week got off to a good start. Knocked out the goal, did our overtime, hit our numbers. We're only like 260 subscriptions away from 5,000. Like, everything feels great. Our videos last week did awesome. Our clips did well. And the first thing I hear from Johnny is like, God, I fucking suck today. And I'm just sitting there going, this must be what it's like when, like, April hears me go off on this same rant after a show where I don't think I did very well. Because I'm sitting there confused. I looked at him, I go, because when somebody says they suck today, that makes you second guess your own self. And I'm like, Johnny, I thought today was great. He goes, oh, must be the new steroids they put me on. And I didn't know steroids could make you delusional. Maybe they put you on estrogen. I'm not really sure because I don't know about you guys. I thought Johnny was great. I thought the morning show today was awesome. I was shocked to hear that come out of his mouth, that he thought that he was terrible on the morning show. I couldn't believe it. I thought he was awesome. A couple of thank yous to throw out here before we go into the next thing. Balls Deep with 1111. Thank you very much. Never forget 1111. That's going to bring us down to 285. And our buddy Farley Birdzone with a 1999 super sticker. That's going to bring us down to 270 this evening. So very cool. Thank you guys for your generosity. Let's continue on with the audience here, continue on with the chat, and then we'll get into a couple of news stories. Oh, the big report on inflation comes out tomorrow. You excited? Remember last month it went from like 9 point something to it went from like 9.5 to 8.8 or something. Inflation did year over year. And then the White House tried to go, see, zero inflation. Like, what? Shit was on average 9.5% higher June to June, and then 8.8% higher July to July. That does not mean that you had zero inflation. That means from a year ago, people were paying about 10% more for their shit. This is why I refuse to take politics seriously, because they don't take themselves or us seriously. Because if you're going to throw bullshit out there like that and expect people to believe it, then I can't take you seriously. I'm sorry. I refuse to invest my time and effort into actually giving a shit about what you're saying to me. 8.8% inflation. Well, I guess that means zero. That's kind of like the voodoo they do when they say, oh, we cut spending this year. Oh, did you really? Well, not really. When they say they cut spending, they mean we were going to raise the budget by 8%, but we raised the budget by 6%. So we cut the budget by 2%. I mean, that being an accountant for the government must be a fucking gravy gig because you just get to make shit up as you go. So tomorrow the inflation numbers come out, and inflation could be up by the highest amount in like 30 years. And the administration would go, hey, 0% inflation. We shouldn't be cheering numbers in the eights. Let's go to Farley Birdzone. Is 1999. He says, sorry, I've been missing the shows. Today I pissed off Andy Sigmore from Popcorn Planet because I asked him when it is a good time to ask for donations or money with your YouTube channel. What do you think? Well, you watch this fucking show. Here's what I say. It's different for everybody. Whatever you got to do to make a living, if your audience wants to support you, go ahead and ask them. If they don't want to, then you'll just not be able to do it. That's kind of how we do it here. It's like, hey, guys, this is what we need. And if they come up with it, we're like, wow, thanks. Here's an extra half hour at a time or an extra like 3-4 hours during the week. And if they don't, we're just like, all right, don't worry, we'll figure it out. You know? So that's my take on the whole thing. People get sensitive about donations. Like, they'll ask for donations and then get sensitive when people bring up the topic. Well, then don't fucking ask. If you can't handle people saying things like panhandling and e-begging and shit like that, then don't ask for donations. Go do something else and don't stream, don't do anything like that for a living. But if you've got to do it for a living, 99% of them have to ask for donations from their audience. You know, it's a nicer deal than internet or cable where you use the service and they go, I don't give a fuck how much or how little you use this service. You pay me the same amount, motherfucker. At least with these shows, it's like, hey, if you guys got a few bucks, you want to chip them in, thanks. And if you give us what we need, we'll give you a little something extra, if you will. I think that's a lot better. But some people, when asking for donations, Farley, you're right. They get really sensitive about it. It's like, well, then you don't have the stomach for it. I don't think. Principled Uncertainty says, I hate this guy. He has made me have to get a YouTube membership at month's end, bastard. Well, thank you for loving the show. Just give me my 200 in DSP back taxes, says thoughts on Snort Hogan being taken down. We're going to get to Snort Hogan being taken down. I mentioned that earlier in the show. He's my favorite DSP channel. It's what I use to prep the show. So I'm certainly going to miss him big time over here. Rusty Grammer says, sorry, I was addressing the deputies. Also, you and Johnny killed it. If you didn't F8 the Jamaican bit, I'm done listening. I mean, I will. The only thing is nobody listens to that stuff. Like outsiders, the reason we put clips out there is because we're talking about something very popular and people watch it and then they subscribe to the channel. Like if I just do bits that the listeners thought was funny, why would they click on the clip and listen to it? Why wouldn't they just remember it from the show? But hey, I'll write it down. I'll clip it out. Don't worry. John Lastman says, I thought you and Johnny did awesome. You were riffing off each other like me and a man I once knew. Oh, John Lastman. Principled Uncertainty says, sorry, ROTC, I've made a brutal decision. I was listening to ROTC. I like those guys. I was listening to them before we went on tonight, and they were talking about The Little Mermaid being black. And they did a good job with it, don't get me wrong, but I have to say, I don't really care if The Little Mermaid is black or not. I just don't have that much invested in The Little Mermaid. If these movie companies want to make their characters, I mean, technically, you got to think about it. It's Disney's character to do with what they want. Like, it's not like it's our character and they're stealing it from us and then making it a black person. You know, it's their character. They can make it whatever they want. Of course, the black person being a fish and the jokes and the everything, you know, whatever. But yeah, I can't bring myself to care about shit like that. I can't be that big of a dork. I just can't. I can't be a big enough dork where I go, I'm going to give a shit about the Little Mermaid and what color she is. I got my own problems, I think. The Mad Hatter renewing his membership for a 5th month. Wow, thank you, buddy. 265 away from tonight's goal. Thank you guys very much to everybody who contributes to PayPal or who contributes via YouTube to keeping this show going. Porky's Butthole says, hey, Aaron, I just want to give you a heads up about Snort. I spoke with him on Twitter. He was struck by Superhound, a notorious troll. He will be back shortly. That's awesome. That is Great news. We'll still talk about it today, but it's great to hear that Snort Hogan will be back. Like I said, I really like that guy's channel. If you talk to him, let him know Steel Toe loves him. Balls Deep says, this morning was an awesome show. Day flew by, and I laughed a lot. Well, good. That's all we can do. Marquise Harris says, see, that's why I love politics. I love watching grown adults in government positions be hypocrites in real time. Oh, don't get me wrong. I love it, and we laugh at it, and I've made a living on it, but like, I can't take, you know what I mean when I say I can't take it seriously? I can't take them seriously. High Main Bro says, one key to happiness is not giving a shit about politics, in my opinion. I couldn't agree with you more. Sonny says, there is literally a law where states and federal can literally fudge numbers legally for public-facing documents. Isn't that something? It's great when you make the rules, right? Scram says, Andy Signor is rich. Is he? Well, I mean, if he's doing well for himself. Look, when it comes to donations, look, if the guy asks and people give it to him, you know, that's how I feel about DSP. DSP, people say, oh, DSP preys on these fucking people. If they're too fucking dumb to know whether or not they should give some asshole money on the internet, then they shouldn't have a fucking computer, as far as I'm concerned. I think stripping people of their personal responsibility is one of the worst things that ever happened to this country. And now I'm doing an old man rant, but I really do. I think caring too much about other people and caring too much about what other people do and not just letting them take responsibility for it has fucked us up remarkably. I mean, if a guy, people are like, oh, and it's not even like real concern people have for the people who give DSP money. They just hate DSP and they want to attack him with anything they've got. They want to retcon their criticism so that they can just hit him with something. What did Owen Benjamin called it? Concern trolling. I hate that. When you pretend, there's nothing douchier than pretending that you give a shit about someone just so you can get at somebody else. It's fucking gross. If I ever do shit like that, I just say openly, oh no, I'm clearly using this person to get at this person. Just openly be the piece of shit you are. I think that's a lot easier. No, DSP didn't strike anyone. Superhound did. Okay, cool. Principled Uncertainty says, I remember when ROTC had this energy. They still do. I think they do a great job. Phoenix says, the dyslexia tweet was fucking hilarious, though. Yes. The casting direct, I don't know. Go follow Hippo Juice Film on Twitter. That tweet is really good. Sonny says, yeah, Little Mermaid type talk is 2013. Who gives a fucking shit about race in cartoons and movies, right? The Little Mermaid can be black. Who gives a fuck, right? The Little Mermaid's allowed to be black. And if you care, I think you're part pedophile. I think it's kind of gross that you care a little bit. The Little Mermaid can't be black. You're 38 years old. Stop giving a shit what the cartoon fish lady looks like. And go back to being mad about the pancake syrup lady. That's what we need to focus on in this goddamn country. Scram says, if anything, the biggest problem is she's underwater and there is no water. Yeah, if you want to complain about something in Little Mermaid, let's get to the goddamn physics of this. How the hell is she underwater and speaking that clearly? I don't understand it. At least, in what's his fuck? Jason Momoa, the Dothraki. At least, what's the Aquaman? At least in Aquaman, they had to make like air bubbles that they could speak in. And, they never explain how that works. It's just fish magic. But, at least they made the effort. I appreciate that. Citizen M says, I'm not that big of a nerd. Don't you play imaginary football? It's fantasy football, you son of a bitch. How dare you? Let's continue on here. Marquise Harris says, I'm always whoring out for my favorite radio shows. Well, thank you, buddy. I hope you whore out for us. Porky's Butthole says, I just like to laugh at Phil because he's funny for all the wrong reasons. I don't think he's a bad guy. Porky, you and I are simpatico. I guess you're not Porky. You're just his butthole. But Porky's Butthole, you and I are, we're the same. I just laugh at the guy because he's funny for all the wrong reasons. As far as like his future and what happens to him, do not give a fuck. Do not care at all. Does he make me laugh? That's all I'm looking for. Uppercut Grandma says, hello, I'm here for the turpentine and the many praises of Rockin' 101. Oh, well, you hang in there. We'll be there in a second. Danger Bear Wolf Turtle says she can't be black because then it squashes the stereotype of people, black people, not being able to swim. Well, smashing stereotypes is what we're about here in 2022. Shitty Imposter Syndrome says, let's get into the physics. She's not underwater. At least Aquaman had magic fish bubbles. Exactly. Physics. Everyone knows that part in physics class where they had the magic fish bubbles. See, she gets it. Billy Idol gets it. Why doesn't she get it? Principled Uncertainty says, this chat reminds me of the old days. Won't last long, but it's fun to see. Wow. I mean, thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. I don't think I don't appreciate that, do I? I don't appreciate it. I think I'm supposed to appreciate it, but I don't like the it won't last. I don't like the negativity at the end. All right, let's dive into some things, shall we? You want to see, speaking of like politics and shit, you want to see how dirty the fucking media is? These reporters with their angles and their, working the angles and everything else. Are you aware of Libs of TikTok? Libs of TikTok is a Twitter account where they post crazy fucking psychos, mentally ill people who are on TikTok. Like, their biggest thing now is the teachers who want to talk to the kids about trans shit and talk to the kids about their pronouns. And they're like teaching first grade and kindergarten. I mean, real psychotic stuff. You watch it and you go, oh God, there's more of these teachers than I thought there were. Well, apparently Libs of TikTok has been locked in a little shit fit with Taylor Lorenz from the Washington Post. If you don't know who Taylor Lorenz is, she's, I think, 50 years old, but she tries to pretend she's in her 30s. She's kind of got the Steve Buscemi, hello there, fellow kids thing going on. She writes for the Washington Post. I think she was their tech editor, but she got demoted from that because she kept fucking up and making herself a part of her stories and getting in all these dramas. And I think they got tired of her just crying in the newsroom. So they went, look, why don't you go out into the bullpen? She's been a part of a lot of controversies. She's cried about like people on the internet doxing her and all this other shit. And then, surprise, surprise, she gets in trouble for what? Doxing Libs of TikTok. And then here's the craziest thing about Libs of TikTok that I didn't know. It's a chick. I thought that was the ballsiest, coolest part of that whole thing. We find out that Libs of TikTok is a lady. And we only know this because Taylor Lorenz doxed her. And then people on the internet started hammering her for doxing this person after she went on TV and cried about doxing. So then Taylor Lorenz turned her account private, said everyone was trolling her and bullying her and everything else. And that's kind of the thing that people do now is whenever they get the shit kicked out of them and they get called out for their nonsense, they go, oh, I'm being bullied. Bitch, you're 50. Stop with the I'm being bullied. All right? You're a big girl. I love that. You're a bad bitch until you get a few mean tweets. Isn't that always how it goes with these types of women? I'm a bad bitch. I'm a hard motherfucker. I think you suck at your job, and aren't you kind of a hypocrite for doxing? I need my editor to help me. These bullies on the internet are too mean. I mean, they're just basically taking Taylor Lorenz's words and throwing them back at her. So anyway, Taylor Lorenz has this fucking hard-on for Libs of TikTok now. She sent the person who runs Libs of TikTok a DM, and I mean, this is just wild. Let's throw this up there for you guys. Taylor Lorenz wrote, "Hi, Shia." That's Libs of TikTok. "A colleague of mine is publishing a big story on influencers who spread narratives about election fraud in 2020. Exploring what happened to their megaphones after Trump was deplatformed." So basically, Jeff Bezos' Washington Post wants to do a victory lap on people who got deplatformed and lost their social media because of the election after Trump got kicked off. So it's not really a news story. It's not really valid. The president they really like is struggling. So they're just going to bring up the other one so they can maybe get some clicks. So that's the first sick part. Here's the second sick part. Lorenz goes on to say, "You are not one of these influencers, but your account has received extensive promotion from them." What? If Carl from Who Are These Podcasts rapes and murders a chick, I got to answer for it? Why? Because he promoted my channel once? Get the fuck out of here. By the way, I like in my analogies, I get to make Carl the murderer and rapist, and I'm not. I like that. There's part of being on this side of the microphone that I really do enjoy, and it's that I never have to be the bad guy in my own stories. But anyway, I'm getting distracted. So they do this shit where they go, hey, would you like to comment on a story that is coming out tomorrow, which, by the way, we've probably been working on for weeks, if not months. Oh, and by the way, we're not saying that you're one of the people who's doing the election fraud stuff, but we're throwing your name in there because it'll get us more clicks, and we kind of want to low-key shit on you with guilt by association. Would you like to comment on all the things we're accusing you of? That's the crazy fucking thing about how disgusting the media is now. When it comes to politics, they accuse you of dastardly shit with no evidence, and then they make you defend yourself. It is, and I hate this term, but it is one of the few terms it's used properly. It is gaslighting to the max. We mentioned in the story that your account has helped to foster violence and that your posts led to death threats against medical providers at Boston Children's Hospital. Only because they covered the fact that at Boston Children's Hospital, they were mutilating children's genitals because the kids said they felt like a girl. So, yeah, she reported on that, and then people got really upset. Their emotions got the best of them, and they sent death threats to the doctors. Is that right? Of course not. But that's not Libs of TikTok's fault any more than it's Taylor Loren's fault. If, she reports on something, then someone goes nuts and does that. But there's a double standard for her. I'm sure it's different when it happens with her. And a bomb threat caused the hospital to be evacuated. We also say you intend to continue to target hospitals. Do you have any comment? The piece is running tomorrow morning, so please send me a thorough response to the above questions by 5 p.m.
Hit the subscribe button, smash that like.
So, by the way, do all those things, but still. So that's the bullshit they pull. They write you a thing about a story they've been working on with for what, weeks or months. And then they go, oh, by the way, this is coming out tomorrow. Do you have anything you want to say about it? Here's what we're saying. You're a piece of shit who wants hospitals to have bomb threats made and everything else. And you're going to continue doing it even though you know it's wrong. We also say that in the... It's amazing how disgusting and dirty these people are. So then Chaya from Libs of TikTok wrote her back and said, just said, I'm sorry, but I can't date you. I'm straight. Then Taylor Lorenz wrote, hi, Chaya. I think you accidentally replied to the wrong DM. This is Taylor Lorenz from the Washington Post, and we're asking you to reply to the question above. We also say you intend to continue to target hospitals. Do you have any comment on that? And she wrote, hey, Tay, I know getting rejected must be really difficult. In some good news, Ross has a 55-plus senior discount on Tuesdays, so maybe that will make you feel better. And by the way, Taylor Lorenz knew that Chaya was talking about her. She just didn't want to acknowledge it because it's fucking embarrassing. That is, I hate. That's one of the biggest things I hate about the fucking media, man. Is that shit where they just, here, you're accused. How do you plead? I'm not guilty of any of the shit you just said. Is that your official statement? I like what Libs of TikTok does. They don't even respond. They go, nope, you're not getting a fucking comment out of me. You're not getting clicks out of my name, anything like that, any more than you're already doing. And you know what you do? You save up those statements they make, and then as soon as they slip up, and God knows they will, you sue the shit out of them. That you don't try to play the game. You don't try to do the dozens with these people because they have control of the pen. They have control of the newspaper. They can make you look as bad as they want to. So don't let your pride get in the way if you ever find yourself in one of these situations and go, oh, I'm going to go back and forth with him. Bro, the game is rigged. So I think Libs of TikTok is handling it perfectly by just going, sorry, but I won't date you. You know, basically doing the Billy Madison. No, I will not make out with you. That's the only way you can handle this because otherwise it's just, hey, I'm going to call you a big piece of shit who hates trans people. Do you have any statement you'd like to make? Seems like you guys have already made up your mind about what I am. Uppercut Grandma says Taylor Lorenz is sketchy as fuck. She wanted to become an influencer. She was part of a talent agency, and she was using her position at The New Yorker to write positive stories about the agency's talent. Ugh. So this woman has no scruples. Like Taylor Lorenz, it's like that line in Shooter. Your moral compass is so fucked, I'll be surprised if you find your way to the parking lot. So she's always been kind of a devious little troll lady. Cool. And a giant hypocrite who will criticize people for doing one thing, but then when she does it, then, oh my God, she cries. And remember, she's a bad bitch until she can get the girl tears going, and that works to her favor. Then she's that. She's a pop culture chameleon, Taylor Lorenz. Shitty imposter syndrome, it says, it's fun to see these stories with these crazy people. Yeah, it is fun, but the country's so polarized that you think that normal people look at Taylor Lorenz and go, oh, she's a psychotic asshole. She's terrible. But otherwise, normal people get so caught up in the politics and they're on team left, so they look at her and go, oh, she's okay. They're probably just bullying her. Like, that's the weirdest thing about how divided we've become now, is that we both look at the same reality, we both see the same thing, and then we let whatever side we play for determine whether or not that thing is what we see, or if we just magic eye the shit out of it and turn it into something else. It's how I've always felt about like these niche pop culture characters, like people who thought that the Alex Stein Las Vegas city council thing was funny. And I watched it and I'm like, you guys are only doing this because he's on your side of the argument. This bit is played out. It's not, I mean, Alex Stein is fine. I don't have anything against him, but like, stop pretending this is really good. Everybody's made him. All these city councils know who he is. So it's not a bit anymore. They all just kind of are sitting there looking at their watches, waiting for him to be done. And then when he's done, they go, yeah, we know that this is your bit and this is what you do. And it's no fun anymore. Mad Max Mardigan says, yeah, but in your story, someone raped and murdered a chick. If you were the one doing it, the victim would have been a man. Oh, thank you. That's a long way to go to call me a homosexual. I appreciate your commitment, I suppose.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
Thank you. Nikki Fruit Loop says, did you see Libs of TikTok's response to Taylor? Yeah, we just did that. Hamburger Steak says, I'm publishing a story tomorrow about how much Aaron hates vets. Do you have anything to add? No. Nope. I have nothing to add. Just, you know what? Go ahead and run with that. Cool. How do you think Walter Cronkite would feel about Taylor Lorenz? Probably the same way he felt about women in the journalism in general. He probably would prefer a guy. That's about it. Someone asks if I saw the Libs of TikTok's montage of new pronouns. No, I haven't, but I'll check it out. Thank you. Principled Uncertainty says, Alex is played out. Ethan Ralph is your friend? Sorry, bro, you have no spine. Oh, is Ethan Ralph Alex's buddy? I don't know if this gives me street cred or not. I guess I don't really care. But Ethan Ralph blocked me on Twitter a long time ago. I don't know. I don't know how anybody takes Ethan Ralph seriously. To me, he's just fucking hilarious. He really is. He's just a wacky, weird, fucking funny, I hate to use the term lol cow, but, he ain't hurting anybody. He's harmless. He's just a weird, wacky, fat kid who wants to yell at people. I don't know. Everybody has their niche, I guess. All right. Did you happen to read what Libs of TikTok said back to Taylor? Yes, we did. Absolutely. Zen Rhino says, you mean the Ralpha male? I always refer to Ethan Ralph as the Ralpha male in front of April because she hates it so much. So I always kind of enjoy that sort of thing. 265 away from our goal today. Thank you very much. 265 away. There's the PayPal link in the chat. Super chats and memberships count as well. If you want to throw in a couple of bucks, please do. What else do we have here? Ethan, that's what I wanted. I couldn't find it. Ethan Ralph and Ethan Klein, are they the same person? They're kind of turning into the same body shape, aren't they? Ethan Ralph and Ethan Klein, they're both kind of just turning into these gelatinous blobs that just kind of look like they fit into whatever container you pour them into. I don't know. I like it. Hey, Dave, how you doing, buddy? You good? There you go. That's got to be like account number 300 for you, pal. Zen Rhino becoming a member for his second month. Thank you, buddy. 260 away from our goal tonight. Appreciate that. Very cool. Thank you guys for your support. Let's throw in on PayPal a little. Let's throw in those super chats and memberships and knock that goal out of the park while we're doing a fun little show. Yes, April will be here tonight. She will be here. Citizen M, you know we've talked about it, all right? I appreciate that you're doing a bit. I'll do the bits, buddy. You're good. Don't stress and strain yourself, please. Joe Biden made a speech today, and boy, was it a good one. He did. Oh, man, I tell you, you guys ever watch a Joe Biden speech and you just feel inspired after to go get screened for dementia? He made a speech today, and I'm not kidding. The guy forgot what country he was the president of. He forgot the name of our country. Now, look, there's times where you flub in a speech, you say the wrong thing, whatever, but very rarely do you get the country of which you're in charge of wrong. Return Trip says best speaker of our generation. Triple N says I've been inspired to self-harm. Look, inspiration is inspiration. It doesn't matter what it inspires you to do. All right, let's dig into this. Again, Joe Biden forgets what country he is president of. Thank you to MN Nice for becoming a member for their 4th month, 255 away from our goal tonight. Here you guys go. Joe Biden talking about this wonderful country of ours.
It's inconvenient, and it's bad for the environment.
Hold on, here we go.
It's frustrating. It's inconvenient, and it's bad for the environment, and there's simply no reason for it. This is the United States of America, for God's sake.
The what? Can we try that one more time?
For it. This is the United States of America, for God.
The United States Khmer? Did I get that? I'll listen to this until we have it right. The United States Khmer or Khmer? Khmer Rouge? Oh my God, we lost to Cambodia? What a terrible dream I had.
For it. This is the United States of America, for God's.
Khmerfa. Khmerfa or Khmer? It's hard because it blends in with for God's sake, because it is for God's sake. United States Khmer? And by the way, this doesn't need to be anything more than busting his balls for fucking up. But you remember how crazy lefties went when Trump would misspell a word, or he'd say kofefe or whatever it was, or he'd say stable genius, and people like Stephen Colbert would make a joke about it for the next 3 months. It would be all he ever talked about. I love that Joe Biden fucks up verbally way more than Trump ever did. And these phony sacks of shit never talk about it, never make a joke about it. Or if they do, it's one quick lighthearted joke. And then somehow Trump gets into the joke and then they move on. They never play this clip and go, this dumb sack of shit, the way they did with the last guy. But remember, they're just comedians, speaking truth to power and all that.
No reason for it. This is the United States of America, for God's sake.
I think it's United States Khmer.
No reason for it. This is the United States of America, for God.
United States Khmer.
Reason for it. This is the United States of America, for God's sake.
Yeah, I think we're in the United States Khmer, for God's sake. Let's see what the rest of it is.
This is the United States of America, for God's sake. This is who we are. This is not what we should be doing.
Say again? Is there anybody there? Because I have not heard any claps. I have not seen any people. Is he yelling in an empty room? Because I would not put that past him at this point. Somebody might want to check to see if this man is just shouting off into a void. I mean, I know we're going to get to that point of his presidency somewhere down the line. I just didn't think it would be, before year 2 was over. But hey, congratulations, guys. This July 4th, we're going to be celebrating the independence of and correct me if I have this wrong, United States Khmer. I forgot I was living there in the United States Khmer. Thank you very much to Birdman with $5. He says, take some simp bucks. Oh, man, I only take simp bucks. Are you kidding? And Biden Crime Family. Renewing his membership for a 4th month. Appreciate that. 245 away from our goal today. Let's see if we can knock that under 200 by the end of this first hour here. There's the PayPal link in the chat. If you want to throw in there, we take 90% from PayPal, over 90% from PayPal, and 70% from YouTube. So both of them are, I think, a proper place to go. Whichever one is easiest for you is what I say. Nikki Fruit Loop says it's the United States of Camaro. Well, look, intelligent people can disagree. United States, I think it's United States Camaro. You say it's Camaro. I mean, that's the fun thing about Joe Biden being president, isn't it? It's kind of a choose your own adventure as to what he's saying. Are we talking about the Khmer Rouge, says Platinum Sniper? I think so. I think we are. Maybe United States of Comerica Park? Could that have, maybe he's just a really big Detroit Tigers fan. Poor bastard. Who's worse, Joe Biden or stuttering John Melendez? Ooh. I mean, politically, they're both pretty rough. Speaking-wise, I got to give it to stuttering John. He's better. I'm sorry, Joe Biden's worse than stuttering John. Because at least stuttering John remembers that he's a stuttering, muttering asshole. Joe Biden forgets sometimes, I think. Shitty Imposter Syndrome says, that's what he said. It was a Freudian slip. Oh, United States Khmer. Good. Standalone Cakecorn says, his enablers will blame his stutter for this. I used to stutter myself, and believe me, you know when you stutter and you at least try to correct it. He never does because he's mentally gone. And that's the worst. Again, we keep going back to this whenever anything political comes up. It's too bad that people have to choose sides and be so stringent in it. Because it is funny. Like, the guy's fuck-ups are genuinely comical. Trump would say shit that was genuinely comical, and you could laugh at it, and you could have fun. But then you've got like 80% of this country that's chosen one side or the other, and now they miss 50% of the funny shit that goes on in this country because they have to protect their side. And by the way, this country being this divided is exactly how people like Crowder become a thing. Crowder is born out of our division because he's on the right, he makes fun of people on the left, so people just pretend he's funny. Because he makes fun of all the people that they don't like. But now, see, if we could laugh at both sides, we wouldn't need right side comedians and left side comedians. We could just laugh at everybody, and then we wouldn't need all these partisan hacks that make dog shit, terrible jokes. I mean, Steven Crowder is to comedy what the youth minister at a church getaway is to music, if that makes sense. It's the United States Khmer, for God's sakes. You like how he hit that at the end there? For God's sakes. He gets through this. They promised him ice cream, says Bowtie. Yeah, I'll be honest. I didn't hear anybody being in that room. Has anybody been like legitimately inspired by Joe Biden, or is there always an applause button? I don't know. I have no idea. Cambodian River Pig says, did you talk about Illinois removing cash bail for murderers and kidnappers? No, but I think you and I can both see that this bit has pretty much run its course. So let's, a few thoughts. I think it's great, Cambodian River Pig. I think this is wonderful. Illinois removing cash bail for murderers and kidnappers is lovely because I believe what the plan is by Mayor Lori Lightfoot is to take Chicago and with an iron fist sink it into the last pit of hell. And they're definitely getting close. So I think this removing cash bail for murderers and kidnappers might actually be the last thing that just kind of, boom, gets them right in there. Now, by removing cash bail, do you mean like they just let them go? Like they have their hearing, they set a date, and then just, hey, go off and do your own thing? Yeah, because you know who's really known for showing up for court? Murderers and kidnappers. That's usually why we set such high cash bails to begin with. Oh, so they can still do bonds, right? Okay. But what they used to do for really dangerous guys that were accused of crimes is they said $500,000 cash bail. And, you know, they couldn't raise that kind of money, and you couldn't get a bond for it. I don't know. Oh, River Pig says free to go until court date. Fuck. That is brutal. The only good thing I can say about that Cambodian River Pig is that I don't know if it can get worse. I really don't. I know sometimes we say that as a euphemism, like, oh, I don't know how it could get any worse, and that's usually right before it gets worse. I don't know how Chicago could be more of a lawless shithole than it already is. I mean, maybe this will be worse for the other parts of Illinois, sure, but as far as Chicago goes, I think they're about as fucked can get, aren't they? I don't know. Mick Marshall says, what fucking upside is there to this? Keeping murderers caged should be bipartisan. Yeah, well, you would think. I mean, try to figure out how any of these people think anymore. I mean, why you would want accused murderers and accused kidnappers out on the street. I mean, the only thing I can think of, and this may sound conspiratorial, the only thing I can think of is that they want it to get worse. That's the only weird way that I can give them credit. The people who are running these cities, their ideas are so fucking bad that if I talk to them privately and promise to never say a word, they would just say, look, man, I'm just trying to bottom this shit out. So it'll get so shitty that people will just go with whatever I say to rebuild it in my image. That's the only thing where if they told me that, I go, oh, thank God, at least you have a plan. Because I was worried you're just a giant dipshit that these people keep reelecting. There's something about this being evil that would make me feel better. Because at least it would be intentional and these people weren't just delusional fucks who think this is a good idea. You know, if they were just like, oh no, we know this is terrible, but we're trying to tank the thing. Like, stay with me here. They're like Rachel Phelps in Major League. Right? There's an analogy. Remember, if the Indians were so bad, I'm sorry, are they the Guardians now? Do we have to go retroactively? I don't know how this works. The Indians would be, if they were so bad, she could move the team to Miami and break her lease. Maybe Lori Lightfoot is the Rachel Phelps of cities. I mean, it's better than her thinking that this is the best we can do. Peter Engel says, Aaron, that is the plan. I absolutely feel better about that. Cambodian River Pig also says Sam Tripoli is having his court date on September 23rd. The court will decide whether his baby mama gets to leave the state of California. Is that why Sam Tripoli said he wants to do an interview with us but can't right now? That's interesting. We did. April sent a message out to Sam Tripoli. He got back to us. He was very nice. I'd love to talk to him on this channel. No Pen 15 Fathead says, this is the longest shit ever. I hope April did a courtesy flush. Look, I mean, it's 7:47. She was supposed to be here already. She did send me a message that she was running a little bit behind. But look, I know the shows aren't as good when I don't have a co-host. And I mean, the goal is definitely spelling that out. So yes, I'm hoping she gets here very soon as well. Although Cambodian River Pig says, I didn't realize April was not there. Well, look at me. Just throwing enough smoke and mirrors for you guys to stay happy. 245 away from our goal tonight. 245 away. We wanted to get under 200 by 8 o'clock so we could have a shot at it tonight. But, of course, Monday Night Football and all that, I get it. I understand. If it doesn't go tonight, whatever the goal, whatever we're short, we'll just roll into Tuesday and Wednesday night. Remember, if you want to become a Steel Toe VIP, you can certainly do that. $250 in 1 week, 1 7-day period. Gets you all of our merch, the 3 T-shirts, the hoodies, 2 tickets to every live event we do. So if you're local to where we are in Minnesota, certainly an advantage there. But you also get an entry into a $100 drawing every month, and every piece of new merch we come out with every year goes right to your door for free. So, and of course, you get, the drawing, the merch, the new merch, 2 tickets to every live event. We keep adding shit to the VIP package, so I keep forgetting if I've got it all taken care of. Thank you to Alcoholic Ape 199. He says, bring out the WWE action figures. Oh, in a heartbeat, my man. Rupert says, you're looking awfully juicy tonight. Thank you, Rupert, for the pink sweatpants that say juicy on them. I really do appreciate it. 240 away from our goal this evening. Thank you. Loaded Wrench says, those are not the tits I wanted to stare at all night. Thanks, but, well, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm doing the best I can. Thank you to Josh for the $10 on PayPal. That's going to knock us down to 230, so we're getting there. We might have a shot on Monday Night Football night tonight. We'll see. Oh, yes, guys, remember, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Again, I think we're like 270 or something. 270 away from 5,000. That'd be so fucking cool. We get to that 5,000 number pretty soon. By the end of the month, that's kind of my goal. Get there by the end of the month. I'd be so excited. So thank you guys very much. You guys want to watch Hillary and Chelsea Clinton talk to Megan Thee Stallion about wet ass pussy? Oh, what I meant to say was, do you guys mind if I try to see if I can induce a stroke via a computer and a live stream? I've never tried this before. I've done a lot of firsts in my broadcasting career. I was the first small market guy to leave the radio and come to the internet and make it work and keep all his staff. It's kind of the first guy to do that. So that was pretty cool. And I want to keep in that spirit of first-time things. So I want to see if I can give people a stroke or an aneurysm or something in the brain blood clot family. And I think I've wanted to do this experiment for a long time. And I think I've finally found the way to do it. Hillary Clinton and her daughter Chelsea were on a show with Megan Thee Stallion where I don't know if anyone's ever seen this before, but I guess they just paint. I'm not joking. They sit in a courtyard and they have an easel in front of them. And Chelsea and Hillary they paint. And then they bring a guest on, and then the guest paints. And in the middle of this painting and talking and everything else, Hillary started talking to Megan Thee Stallion about how important wet-ass pussy was to her. I mean, if it was that important to you, Bill wouldn't have went and looked for it elsewhere. That's all. It kind of came to you late in life. Thank you, Eric W., for renewing your membership. That's 3 months for him. 225 away from our goal tonight. We're getting there. We're getting there on a Monday. Thank you, guys. So let's, I see a lot of people in the chat are already very horrified by this. Marquise Harris, I think, speaks for everyone when he says, what are these two old fucking hags talking about? Wet-ass pussy. I didn't know if that question was rhetorical or not, but yes, wet-ass pussy is what they're talking about. Triple N says, I assume they paint using their labia. Shh, don't give it away. God, this was supposed to be fun, and you're just wrecking it, you dick. Thank you to Matthew Stieg for the $10 on PayPal. Appreciate that, buddy. 215 away from our goal tonight. So here we go. Hillary Clinton and Chelsea Clinton talking to Megan Thee Stallion about the song Wet Ass Pussy. Remember the song Wet Ass Pussy, like the actual lyrics of it and what it's about and everything else? It was just supposed to be a slut song, right? It's supposed to be a fun, dancey, hoish, dirty, fucking raunchy, tied up Ben Shapiro in knots kind of a song. Listen to Megan Thee Stallion try to act like this song was some kind of clarion call for female empowerment. I feel the same way about that as when Mystical made the song Shake Ya Ass. Because, I too like to beat the pussy up and down smooth fucking, Those lyrics, they spoke to me. I too like to watch a woman shake your ass, but also watch herself. Shake her ass and then show me what she's working with. I mean, those lyrics when I was a kid, that was like Imagine to me. So let's watch Hillary Clinton and Chelsea Clinton, a mother and daughter combo, talk to Megan Thee Stallion, some hoebag rapper, talk about the song Wet Ass Pussy as if it's the fucking Beatles. Here we go.
Chelsea follows rap music. She has ever since she was a little girl. But I kind of came to awareness of you with the Cardi B WAP.
I've always wanted to do a song with Cardi. As soon as she sent me the song, I think I sent it back to her like the next day. And it was just so exciting. The men, they seem so confident in what they're saying, and they don't have no problem with talking about their sexuality and how they're gonna have sex with you. So I was like, well, I could do that, and it's gonna sound fire coming from a woman.
It's great to see.
It's funny to me because if they would have stopped right there, all right, you know what? That's legit. That's okay. Yeah, you know what, guys? We mentioned Mystical. Ludacris did a song where it was all about fucking a chick. Every male rapper has done songs about fucking, right? So Megan Thee Stallion's right. If guys can do it, why can't women? If they would have cut the audio right there, it would have been totally fine. It was the nauseating fucking circle fingering they did right after it. That's really bad. And by the way, does anybody buy for a second that Hillary Clinton loves the song Wet Ass Pussy? Does anyone believe that Hillary Clinton was like, I've never listened to hip hop, but this in-your-face song about slimy cunts really has me, rethinking my fandom here. That hip hop, a hippie to the hip hop shit. I can't communicate with that. I don't understand it. But get a mop and bucket for this wet ass pussy. I mean, that I can identify with, Chelsea. And you're listening to that with your daughter? Yeah. All right, so the men sing about their dicks. Why can't we sing about our pussies? All right, fair. You got me. Stop there, right? Wrong.
I could do that, and it's going to sound fire coming from a woman.
It's great to see women be so kind of fierce.
That is my life's mission.
This is where women just always keep the conversation going too long, no matter what they're talking about. Like, it's just so wonderful to see women being so fierce. They're not talking about being fierce. They're talking about taking a snail trail onto a dick they just rode. They're not being fierce. Fierce is like if a woman rapped about being president and bombing the shit out of another country. That's pretty fierce. If Lorena Bobbitt made a rap song about chopping off John Wayne Bobbitt's cock, that's a fierce song. I get my pussy pounded by a guy with a giant dick when my, vagina is wetter than the Atlantic Ocean. I don't really know if that falls under the category of fierce. Hoe-like, sure, but fierce? You should have stopped at the whole, hey, guys can talk about fucking, why can't we? Fair enough.
To make sure that I'm always unapologetically me.
Really?
Chelsea.
So unapologetically you, and like the ultimate expression of what makes you you, is just talking about how wet your pussy. Like that's the depths of where you. Okay. All right. Cool. That's that's a hell of an expression. If that's, if you had a message and it was, I want to always be unapologetically me, and what you came up with was, God damn, my pussy is wet.
Hell yeah.
God bless you on your expression. That's what our soldiers fought and died for. Happy 9/11, everybody.
I'm happy about it.
That is kind of retarded, though. No offense. Like when women go like, oh, yeah, men can sing about their dicks. Why can't we sing about their pussies? We're not saying you can't. We just don't sing about our dicks and then jerk each other off for 7 minutes about it, about how empowering it is.
Right. Why can't you just sing the song
Right.
and have it hit huge record sales and just be that?
It's just so nice seeing women be fierce. You're not really being fierce. You're just talking about how you let men pound out your vag. I don't know how I don't know if that's hurting the patriarchy as much as you think it is.
Get a mop and a bucket.
For that wet ass pussy. Oh boy. That's so Hillary Clinton started liking rap music when wet ass pussy came out.
Wouldn't you?
Wait until she finds out about
Maybe she misses hers.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. Mine's like the Sahara. Smash the pussy, fuck the pussy, empowerment, says Shitty Imposter Syndrome. I believe that's the playbook. Yes, I believe that's how that goes. Thank you very much to Curtis Versus for renewing his membership for a 5th month. Also, Brian M with $5 over on PayPal. So that's going to make it 205 tonight.
Thanks, guys.
So we're right around 1 hour into the show, and we are right around $200 left in the goal. Thank you guys very much. As we said, if we hit there you go. There's 200. Fill some holes says, I'm glad that broad showed up. Well, yeah, I was running out of steam.
Not much I can do.
To be fair, yeah. Well, how'd everything go?
Wild.
Was it wild?
Heard a lot of weird shit in the car on the way home, or on the way there.
Uh-oh.
Kids were just weird.
Psychotic a little bit?
Yeah.
I know that the 3-year-old was farting up a storm while we were sitting outside with her, and she wanted to tell us about it.
She told the whole neighborhood. She was yelling.
How did it go? How did she set that up with us?
She just said, she laughed at me. And she's like, did you hear that? And I'm like, no, what? And I farted.
Yeah, then she said, like, I farted, but I didn't fart.
No, she said it wasn't loud.
Oh, it wasn't loud. Yeah, that's what it was. Well, then why don't you tell us about it?
Oh, about the car ride?
No, I just meant the fart. I was like,
Oh,
yeah,
no.
you didn't, nobody heard it, but why don't you make sure that we know about it? That's
Didn't seem very ladylike, did it?
no. Well, they got some work to do.
She did establish on the way to Becker tonight that she is, in fact, a dude. So.
Well, we got to cut her tits off and get her a cock.
I didn't even think about that.
Isn't that what you do now? Like, there are people out there. I'm so glad she said that today, because there are so many single moms out there where if they heard that, instead of laughing about it like a normal person does, they go, oh my God, we have to talk about hormone blockers, and I think she identifies as a boy. April, thank you. Because that is a perfect example of how these single moms work that turn their kids trans.
I'm not a single mama.
Trans. I know. I'm saying this is how it works. So we have 4 parents in the picture, so now that the kid won't turn into a fucking weirdo. That will just laugh and go, oh, that's just how that shit goes. Kids say that stuff sometimes. But if you have nobody else and you're just a single mom who craves attention and dick, and then the kid goes, I'm a dude. So if you leave the kid to their own devices and say nothing, that passes in an hour, less than that, and they're done. They're moving on.
5
They're on the next. They don't think about that kind of shit. Well, if you have a single mom who's starving for attention and into every cause there is, she'll start talking to the kid and fucking gaslighting the kid into thinking they're a guy. Not only that, they're 3 fucking years old, so the kid will think that it was their idea, even though the mom gaslit the kid into thinking that.
You would think that if they're hungry for dick, that would actually scare the dick away when you behave that way, right?
Offhanded comment. You're focusing on the wrong thing here. Fuck that. I'm sorry I confused you. Don't think about the dick part. This is very serious. That's how this shit works. That's how it ends up happening.
Yeah, I understand. Somebody needs attention. The parents caused this thing to happen.
I'm a piece of shit if I say that.
No, I don't think so.
I'm denying. I'm denying their kids their identity, and how dare I even say that the mom had anything to do with it? Because oh my God.
I would argue that most people think the way you do. They just don't say it.
Not the ones that matter. Not the ones who are convincing their 6-year-olds that it's their idea to get on hormone blockers.
I don't think that's going to last. I don't think that's... You just said it. They do it because they want attention and stuff. Like, I don't think that's going to last because bad things are going to start happening.
Yeah, Union Jack says they mind fuck the poor kid. That's exactly what it is. They just mind fuck him.
No, she just kind of out of nowhere in the middle of the car ride just said, hey, guess what? I'm a dude. Right. And all of us just laughed at her and like, oh, yeah? She's like, yeah, I didn't even know. And I'm like, oh, how'd you find out? And she just said, I don't know.
Right.
I have these things. And I'm like, what things? And she's like, I don't know.
Yeah. So she was just being weird.
That was the was the bottom of it.
And did she happen to think that it was very funny what she had said?
Cackling.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's all.
Very funny.
She thought it was funny.
She thinks I'm a bear.
A large homosexual man?
Yes.
Oh, wow. She's all fucked up then. Remziel says it's a very vocal minority, but you're right. They are doing it so they get attention. Yeah, it's a fucked up kind of Munchausen syndrome, if you will.
Right, but they are the minority, I think.
Aaron is right. Speak away. You should hear about how I feel on this topic. Uncle Adolf seems like a good guy at this point. All right, as soon as people start getting to how they're worse than Hitler, I start to distance myself, because then if they end up pulling off some weird shit, I can say I had no idea. How's that?
Yes.
All right, guys. Hulkamasha Baby says she mispronounced beard. You're a beard, not a bear.
She has accused me of being a man on a couple occasions.
Well, it's the shoulders, I think, more than anything. I don't know.
Thanks.
I don't agree, but it's,
You're into that kind of thing, right?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm more of an asshole kind of guy. $200 away from our goal tonight. Thank you guys very much. Let's see if we can knock out the rest of that 200. There's the PayPal link in the chat. It's also pinned to the top of the page. If you feel like chipping in, what we always say, if you're new here, give the show a month or so. If you're into the show and you love it, either become a member or throw in $5-10 a month on PayPal. And this show is more than fine. We're going to do fine if that's the case. All right, April, so many things to talk about. You came in at the perfect time.
Good deal.
Sad news to report.
Don't start with sad.
Look at that.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
What happened?
That's our buddy, man.
Yeah,
that's my
where'd
guy.
they go?
That's a guy I go to at least twice a week for show prep.
You love him.
Snort Hogan got knocked down by some troll. Had to take either he had to take all his videos down or YouTube took all his videos down. So I'm guessing he's suspended. What we've heard from people in our audience is that Snort's going to be fine. We had somebody in the chat today who's spoken with Snort. Small world, you know.
Okay.
And Snort's going to be okay. He's going to get his channel back. I would just encourage Snort to do what he's been doing. Put that little 15 seconds of commentary at the beginning of the thing. Put that 15 seconds of commentary at the end of the thing. Call it fair use, and you're good to go, and hopefully you're protected.
Well, do you have any intel of what actually happened?
I have no idea what happened.
No idea.
I'm just guessing some troll with a copyright fetish just kept spamming him,
It's too
and
bad.
he caught one.
Stop being that person.
Yeah, I mean, Snort Hogan, if you don't know, was he is a really good DSP coverage guy. And I'll tell you what Snort Hogan does better than everybody else. You know, people say, oh, look at Tevin. Look at, what is it? Memology DSP tries it. Snort Burnell, all of those. Nope, I always tell them, those guys are all great. And those girls, they're all great. But Snort Hogan is the best DSP coverage to me, and I'll tell you why. Snort Hogan, quick. Snort Hogan shows you a clip. It's 2-3 minutes max. That's all you needed.
You got the point.
I listen to more than 2-3 minutes of DSP. I start to get clinically fucking depressed. I can't listen to DSP for that long. Snort Hogan gives me 2 or 3 minutes of DSP coverage. We can turn it into 15, 20 minutes with our commentary.
Yeah.
I'm a happy guy.
Yeah, bring him back. We can't have him gone.
All the other ones, they're like 12, 15 minutes. And look, I know that these channels aren't there to provide me with material. So if they want to do 15, 20-minute segments, cool. Awesome. That's great. You know, do your thing. Have your channel. Harder for me to use them. So for my personal preference, I always preferred Snort Hogan.
They are here, though, to show us, like, top-level low-cow stuff. So let's get to it, right?
Yeah. So,
like
you know, 2-3 minutes at a time. Easy to watch, easy to... Because, like, 15 minutes of DSP is a fucking slog, man.
It is. It's always the same sad story,
Yeah.
a message that's always...
Snort Hogan
Bro.
always seems to find the new shit. Like
Quickly,
Phil
too.
putting a new spin on an old gag, you know, and it's really interesting to watch.
When we hear of a DSP news coming out, he's always the first one with stuff, too, right?
Yeah, in my opinion. PH Eder says Hollywood Snort Hogan account created yesterday. Oh, really? Let's take a look. Hollywood Snort Hogan. Wow, it's already got 182 subscribers. He's got a 20-second video up. Oh, fuck yeah, Snort. Oh, that's good. Well, I hope he comes back. And I hope
This is
he's
a backup then, okay.
Yeah, I hope he comes back and he's stronger than ever and this bullshit's up. See though, this is what I'm talking about. Whether it's DSP or whether it's Snort Hogan or anything else, I don't want people striking each other.
No, it's all in good fun. It's all sport out here.
No striking. We're all just telling jokes. We get off the internet. We go live our real lives. We don't live our lives vicariously through these people. We're doing it for while we're here and having some fun. After that, we go do something else. I cannot stress enough. No bullshit strikes against people. Because look, you get the bullshit strikes against DSP. He uses it to raise a bunch of money, to beg for money, and he ends up bragging and cocking off because he beat them all anyway.
Yep.
And now Snort Hogan ends up getting hit. So this shit never stops.
There's always collateral damage. Just stop hurting people.
I believe it's Mike Sheely, Mersh from Revenge of the Sis, who calls it, I think accurately, gay ops. That's the best way.
I never knew what that meant.
Yeah, that's the best way I've ever heard it described is gay ops. And gay in the sense of like when we were kids and stuff was just gay.
It's fucked up.
It's fucked up. Citizen M says there are some individuals who only want infighting and go around reporting anything they think will get struck down. Can't speak for everyone, but it's what I do, at least.
No.
Again, Remziel says, or being a flaggot. Yes, that's another not
That
bad
is
term. A harsh one, though. I like gay op. Gay op sounds fun.
That one just sounds
More
like
fun.
I don't want to say it.
Yeah. Like
Just
when
in
someone's
case.
being cheap and you say they're being niggardly. You know, you're like, oh my God, that's a terrible word.
It's
but
aggressive.
It's like, but you're like, no, that's a word and it has nothing to do with black or anything
Right.
like that. But yeah, so rest in peace, Snort Hogan. We hope you're resurrected soon. We hope the red woman comes. And if a death has to pay for a life, then
be it whoever flagged you.
Let it be whoever flagged you that pays for your resurrection. I know what you meant, Citizen M. Don't worry about it, buddy. So, for the time being, no Snort Hogan.
That sucks, because we have a lot of fun with that channel.
Well, you know what? I'll bring your spirits up with something else.
Please,
because
that was sad.
Do you remember the Jim Cornette Dark Side Phil promo?
How do you forget?
Do you remember the Kevin Nash Dark Side Phil promo?
Yes.
Do you remember the Kurt Angle Dark Side Phil promo?
Oh, yeah.
Well, somebody went to Cameo and bought one from Cactus Jack, a.k.a. Mick Foley, a.k.a. Mankind.
Nice.
Who cut a promo on Dark Side Phil. And, you know, God bless Mick Foley and the way he does his cameos. He even put on a fake bloodied bandage for the Cactus Jack
thing.
Very
nice.
That he's about to do. Oh, you know, Dark Side Phil, I've been hearing that you play WWE Champions a lot, and it's taken up a lot of your fans' money. Let's see if we get a good classic. I don't know. See, now, we're going to learn in this one. Am I doing a Mankind impression or a Cactus Jack impression?
I don't know.
When I do it. Let's see here. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to love this. Cactus Jack owns Dark Side Phil.
Hello, Phil. This is Cactus Jack. And when I got this message from the detractors, I had to roll off a hospital gurney where I was getting stitched up after a hardcore match to voice my opinion. Phil Burnell, a.k.a. DSPGaming. I've been around the world, and I've seen some disturbing things, but they all pale in comparison to your $100,000 WWE Champions mobile game addiction.
You know, it's really, I don't know why, because I know it's going to be the same beats every time. Mm-hmm. But the way the people who buy the Cameo mix them in there, I don't know. I just like it.
I know.
Like Jim Cornette's was, you motherfucker, DSP, you're whacking off on the internet. That's the one they went with.
Yeah.
Kevin Nash is like, you had a $100,000 gaming addiction. You sit inside and play video games all day, you dork, you nerd. And then Kurt Angle was like, I think he did the WWE Champions thing. But he, you know, the whole, it's real. It's damn real. And now Cactus Jack, you know what? I am doing Mankind when I do my impression.
Yes, you are.
Because you know who Cactus Jack is supposed to be? You know who it's a takeoff of? This character started in the 80s. I'll be very impressed because you have no wrestling knowledge at all. Do you know who this character, look real hard, and the way Mick Foley portrays him and how he talks, who is this character based off of? Cactus Jack.
I'm really on the spot here.
Think about it. I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
Ran a cult.
Ran a cult?
Yeah. Who is that supposed to be?
Manson?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, the first incarnation of the character, they wanted him to be called Cactus Jack Manson.
See, now that makes sense.
And especially Mick Foley when he was younger, kind of looked like Charles Manson. So it kind of
worked. Not
worked.
too far off the hair for sure.
Yeah.
As if your bankruptcy weren't bad enough, the bank leaks paint a picture of a sad and lonely man trapped in an endless cycle of disparity. Deep down.
No, despair. Guys, despair. Guys, I don't know who bought this fucking Cameo, but if you're going to take up Mick Foley's time, learn the words. Learn the English language. Not disparity. Disparity is one person has this, the other person has that. The disparity is the gap in the middle. Darkside Phil is in a pit of despair. Not a pit of disparity, for God's sake.
Is it on Cactus Jack then to not he didn't fix it?
No, you take the money, you read it as is.
I like that the new trend is that these detractors are buying all the cameos for him.
I want to buy one from Mike Tyson for Darkside Phil.
We can look up how much it is.
Or Nature Boy.
Nature Boy.
Got one from Ric Flair.
An endless cycle of disparity. Deep down in the dark depths of time, there's a special place where sad souls such as yours go to rot for eternity.
Wow, so now DSP's going to hell, according to Cactus Jack.
Oh, yeah, he's burning.
All for playing a WWE mobile game and doing some e-begging. Jesus.
Well, he won't own up to it.
I
man.
mean, I guess. All right, well, I mean, Cactus Jack puts you in hell. You're going to hell.
He's all, guys, I got to have money for my day off, or I can't go out to eat.
Well,
I can't pay my bills.
Look, you're going to have a lot of days off when you're burning in hell, Phil. That's according to Cactus Jack, again.
I think his whole point is he can't do that and have the WWE thing.
No.
The countless lies, the fake chargebacks, the pignosis, all will fall in time. And T would still be your friend if you weren't so selfish. Bang, bang, Phil.
Oh.
Bang, bang.
That's creepy as fuck. Oh my God.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mick Foley cutting a promo on DSP. God bless.
That was fucking creepy.
That was good. That motherfucker has no teeth, huh?
How much does it hurt? Like, so DSP is a huge wrestling fan, and like some of these big ass names are on here like dissing him on cameos. Doesn't that hurt on a different
yeah,
level?
you're a giant wrestling fan, and these guys are just shitting on you
like,
constantly.
What if somebody, I don't know if Hulkster's on Cameo or not, but what if somebody bought one from Hulk Hogan and had him shit all over you? Wouldn't that hurt?
Hulk Hogan cameo. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Nope. We got Arn Anderson, the Enforcer.
Okay.
He could cut one. Eric Allen Kramer. God, he looks like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, I would have thought that was him.
I know Nature Boy's on there. Can we get Ron Simmons? Nope, he's not on there. I thought maybe we could.
Polo guy.
I thought we could get one that would say, damn. Who's another wrestler that he'd probably love?
Yule.
Oh, yeah, there's Yule.
Lavelle Crawford.
No Mr. Kennedy. No Mr. Anderson. There's Arn Anderson again. Kevin Pollak. Oh, that's just adorable.
I think you can search for wrestlers, babe.
Oh, can you really?
Yeah.
All right. Wrestlers.
There you go.
The Voros twins. Who the fuck? God, I'm getting old. Tito Santana costs $25. Holy shit. Oh, The Godfather. Danhausen. Holy shit. I want to buy DSP
I feel like Darby.
a cameo from Danhausen.
I feel like this Darby guy is copying Danhausen.
Darby Allin? No, he's more copying Sting
Oh.
than anything else.
Fuck me.
Brett the Hitman Hart. That could be a good one. The Sandman. Matt Hardy. Get broken Matt Hardy to cut a promo on DSP. $110. I'm fucking in. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I think that might be the way to go. We get DSP a cameo from broken Matt
There's
Hardy.
a lot on there.
People are asking about Chris Benoit. That one might be a little difficult.
I think so. I don't know if he's around.
We got a couple of DSP clips we can play a little later. Maybe if we hit overtime, we'll do those 2 DSP clips. But we will move on now because I think that was, between Snort Hogan and the Mick Foley thing, that went quite a...
How do you outdo Cactus Jack there? That was pretty good. That was creepy at the end.
Ooh. God, I don't know. I think that the broken Matt Hardy one could be pretty goddamn good.
Now, here's the thing. When there's when you buy a cameo from someone, do you straight up send them a full script of exactly what you want them to say, or do you just ask them to do this?
I don't know. I think it depends on the person. Some of them might want you to just give them a script so they can read it.
Up.
Yeah, and others, maybe they'll let you just bullet point it, and they can just kind of roll with it.
Okay.
If I had my way and it had nothing to do with what Phil liked, I would just get a Chet Hayes one.
Sure.
Yeah, I want Chet Hayes to do a Jamaican accent to Dark Side Phil.
I see you perking up.
Jay Santos says, anyone remember Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man? Of course. What are we, a bunch of fucking noobs over here? Of course we remember the $1 Million Man. $1 Million Man had one of the best heel moments in wrestling history where he brought a little black kid up on stage with him and said, if you can bounce this basketball 10 times, I'll give you $100 or something like that, or $1,000. I can't remember. It was a substantial sum of money, especially
for
in the
a
80s.
kid.
Yeah. And the kid bounced it like 8 times, and the $1 Million Man just kicked it, and he goes, oh, you didn't get it.
Oh, what a shit.
You didn't get it. And the little 6-year-old boy looks fucking heartbroken.
Yeah.
And they asked, they asked Bruce Pritchard, who was a WWE behind the scenes guy, about that, and they're like, don't worry, we took care of the kid and his family, we gave him money, we gave him signed shit and everything else. Like, we didn't let the kid just go home and cry. But it was.
Can you imagine if they did, though?
That would be, you know what? That would be committing.
It's committing.
For sure. All right, guys, $200 away from our goal tonight. Let's see if we can knock that out. We got about 35 minutes before we start that lovely passing around the offering plate segment we do with the music. Let's see if we can knock it down before that point. $200 away from our goal tonight. There's the PayPal link in the chat. It's also pinned to the top of the page. Super chats, memberships, PayPal, all of it counts. If you want to chip in, please do. And we'll hit that goal and do an extra half hour for you tonight. Philadelphia is one of those cities that I just don't think, it's kind of like we were saying with Chicago earlier. I just don't think it can get worse.
Nope.
I think it's just kind of hit shit, and now everything else is just going to be a variation of that shit.
I would agree to that. It just branches off of it.
Yeah, it can't be a bigger mess than it already is. It can just be a different kind of mess.
It's gross, honestly. Like, isn't it kind of weird how there's so many large cities in this country that used to be like a destination, and now it's like you couldn't pay me to go there?
Well, like, we talked to Pat Dixon, who's lived a long time in New York City, and we asked him, like, it was especially weird for New York because, like, you guys have been here and fixed it before, and then you let it get back there again. That's what doesn't make any sense to me.
Right, you let history repeat itself.
Right.
And it's like you have basically a playbook of like how to fix it, and people won't do it.
The problem is, there's that saying, and everybody uses this fucking saying, so it's a little corny at this point, but the whole good times create soft men create hard times create strong men build good times. Mm-hmm. We're kind of in that soft men create hard times part where all the stuff that worked, it's like rebelling against your parents. All the stuff that worked to make New York clean, it made everybody soft because they didn't have any adversity to go through. So they went, no, it's too mean. You're being racist, or you're being mean to the homeless people, or you're being this. And like everybody who knew something about it would look at these fucking college kids and go, you don't understand. You don't know why we have to do this. You didn't see it. This stuff all worked so well that stuff isn't around anymore. But the minute we stop doing this shit that you don't want us doing, it's going to get to this point again. We're going to have to bring this shit back anyway or watch the city go to hell.
Yes. Your city's gone.
And then they got their way, and then the city went to hell again. So here we are.
I bet they would never own up to that, though. You know what I mean?
I don't think they think the alternative is better.
No, like you said, oh, you're being mean to homeless people.
Yeah.
The only interactions I've ever had with homeless people are negative ones initiated by them. They're not nice people.
There's a remarkably vocal minority, and they would prefer the way it is now to having to do these things with the police and everything else in order to clean it up. They would say, fuck these tourists. I like the vibrant culture that we have here rather than a clean Mickey Mouse land for tourists. Like, yeah, you know who doesn't like that? Everyone else who fucking pays bills and taxes here.
What, the rainbow of tents and shit on your sidewalks?
Yeah, isn't that vibrant?
I just had a moment too when you said that, like that they don't think the alternative's better, where I just felt kind of devastated and I felt my shoulders slump. Like, God, it's true. Like nobody, like this, you're right, the soft people right now, they just don't see it the way we do.
We're just going to end up with a country where you're seeing it now where people just move out of these shitholes and go to like Florida and Texas, and we'll just become a completely yin and yang country.
Yes,
where
I think so.
We'll have these shitholes, and then we'll have these nice places, and then the nice places will fight like hell to keep them nice, and the shitholes will go, oh, what happened? Where'd everybody go?
We watch a lot of videos of people that live in Las Vegas, right?
She's lying. She only does that. I don't watch it.
Okay, I do. And there's people that have moved to the state of Nevada from California because they're terrified of what's going on in California right now. And they're starting to see things happening in like Nevada and stuff, that like new laws and rules and shit like that are getting passed that like Californians have, and they're like, no, stop spreading this shit. You guys are doing it all wrong. Stop moving.
Stop coming here and fucking up our shit. Yeah,
because it was nice.
In fairness to Philadelphia, and I think we should give them credit for this, I think they did this all on their own.
Right? And what are they by?
I think this is a Philly special. Like, of all these cities, so many of them had it done to them by other places.
Yes.
Philly, I think, just fucked up their own house. So, I mean, they're a self-made story, if you will.
Self-made.
Yeah, I think Vegas has it right, though. They keep their homeless in tunnels.
Yeah, and then occasionally a monsoon will wash them out.
Yeah, they're like the Morlocks. You know, the Eloys live above the Eloys live above the ground, and the Morlocks live beneath in the tunnels.
The last
Hey, what book is that? I just referenced a great American novel.
I bet you did.
Guess what that's called?
Gosh.
Let's see if anybody in the chat
I
gets
don't
it.
know.
The Morlocks and the Eloys. And then ask me how I know about that book.
Do you want me to wait for them to respond?
Do you have
first?
any idea what the book is?
I don't right now.
Morlocks and Eloys?
No.
Okay. Let's see if anybody knows what book that's from. And then let's see if you know about it the same way I know about it. No, it's not Goosebumps. No, Pen 15 Fathead, but thank you very much for the effort. I never said I read the book. I just know the reference.
Oh, so you didn't read it.
Hamburger steak. There you go. Time machine. And let's see. Hey, hamburger steak. How do you know about the Morlocks and the Eloys? How do you know about the book, The Time Machine? How do you know about it? I want to see. If there's another guy in our chat who knows about that fucking book the same autistic way I remember it, I'm going to be so happy.
I'm guessing it's from a special. It's not from a comedy special.
Nope.
Nope.
Let's see it. Come on, hamburger steak. How do you know about the Time Machine and the Morlocks and the Eloys? How do you know? I'm excited. Drum roll. I think it's Is it H.G. Wells?
I'm thinking hard.
Is that
Don't
an
ask
H.G. Wells
me.
special?
I don't know.
Kumia constantly brings it up, says Lando Walker. That's not where I know it from. Futurama referenced it? Shit. Does anybody know that book from the Mel Gibson movie Ransom? Gary Sinise mentions it in the movie Ransom on this rant he does. He's like, the Morlocks, they live off the scraps from the Eloys. Every once in a while, a Morlock comes up from the ground and snatches one of the Eloys.
I feel like you've played that before.
I don't think
I've heard
have.
that, but I've never seen Ransom or read the book.
No, I know it from Ransom. I have no idea what the
you
book's
look
about.
so proud
I
right
know.
now.
I'm just a
It's
little
kind of sick.
I'm a little sad that nobody else knows the movie or the book, The Time Machine, from the movie Ransom. It's too bad.
Pretty secondhand or third hand.
Oh, man. Oh, our boy
Sage Retard PhD KF
says, Jesus, I'm autistic, but here, Aaron, you earned this. And he gave me a trophy. Yes. Hamburger Steak says it is H.G. Wells, though. Oh, okay, good. I actually prefer his slightly more expensive brother. I think he's better and he costs a little more. L.G. Wells.
You know what? Me too.
Little L.G. humor for you guys.
Oh my God.
Uppercut Grandma says Ransom was all right, but Payback, not the director's cut, was better. Ransom, I'll tell you this, guys. Ransom's one of my favorite movies.
You've never talked about it.
I fucking love Ransom, man. I watched that shit all the time when I was a kid.
Okay, you've never brought it up.
Tom Mullen is with us. All right, guys, $200 away from that goal. Let's see if we can knock that down just a little bit before we get to the offering plate segment, so we have a shot at maybe knocking out that goal today on a Monday Night Football evening. $200 away. There's the PayPal link in the chat if you feel like throwing us a couple of bucks. $200 away from our goal. There's the link. All right, Philadelphia, let's check in on them.
Yeah,
Let's see how they're doing. Who knows? We said it can't get much shittier. We can just get different variations of how shitty it is. Maybe it's getting better.
New flavors?
Yeah,
I don't know.
maybe.
Do you have hope?
Maybe things are slightly improving. Maybe we'll see less trash, both paper and person.
I feel like you're yanking my chain.
You want to go through a little drive through Philadelphia?
Yes,
This is different.
please.
This isn't the Kensington video we always watch.
That one's bad.
This is a new one.
That's
well,
bad.
let's see how this one measures up. This is Philadelphia in the daytime. That's what I call this particular piece of art.
So you can see it all.
Philly in the daytime. Did he just crunch over a pigeon?
I think so.
Was that a pigeon getting run over or a rapper?
Now,
And by rapper, I mean one of the clearly black men high on heroin that's lying in the street. I don't mean WR.
I have so many questions about this still shot.
Ask away. It's like a highlights book, isn't it?
It is. It's like, where's Waldo?
Find all the things contributing to urban decay.
It's, to me, now there's been a lot of people just like clogging the sidewalks there. Like I expect a homeless here and there person, like all person. What happened that all of them are just there?
Heroin and fentanyl.
Is it
heroin and fentanyl happened, and meth. Yes, that's what happened.
And
Opioids.
they're not doing anything about it.
Well, let's be honest. They turned their back for a little bit, and the whole thing kind of got away from them, I think. And also, what the fuck are you supposed to do? Philadelphia's prisons are already overrun with scumbags. What are you supposed to do? Like, if you're the cops or if you're a community group, what are you supposed to do?
Then my new thing, if the jails are full, they can't get in, whatever. I think you just need to section off a little part of town here, give them a few blocks to themselves so that everyone else doesn't have to drive through this.
Make it like a camp.
Yeah.
That we can relocate them
If that
to.
is our final straw, that's got to be it.
So you're saying you want to build a camp where
There's got to be the tallest walls in the world. They can't get out.
Sure. So instead of them spreading out, they can be more concentrated in the camp that you're building. Right?
You said it, man.
Is that what
Not me. I didn't say
No,
it.
No, I'm asking you for your general philosophy here. You're
I
saying,
didn't call it a camp per se.
take all the, well, you did. I said camp. You said
I
yes.
did, yeah.
So you want to fence off an area. And you want to take all these homeless people that are loose all over the city.
Harming people.
Drug addicts and homeless people. And you want to concentrate them in one camp.
I think they should very much hang out with themselves, yes.
In one concentrated
I don't think
area.
anyone should do anything to them.
Would you say that the word concentrated is proper to use here? You want them all in one place rather than many. So you want them concentrated.
You're such a shit.
Perhaps in a camp?
Yes.
Okay. Got any names for what this would be called? What kind of camp?
Stinkville.
Okay. All right, let's count the number of productive citizens. Ready?
They look like zombies.
Hold on, I'm counting the productive citizens. Okay, hold on. Wait, that guy might be delivering food. I think I might have found one.
That does kind of look like a DoorDash bag.
That could, or that man, or that heroin addict could have just killed a DoorDash driver and taken his food.
I'm afraid for these people that have, like, they own cars and they're parked over here in these apartments. I'm afraid for them.
I'm not.
You know?
You get what you fucking deserve if you're that goddamn dumb.
What if you didn't vote for this shit?
Leave. Get
That's
the
what I've
fuck
always
out
said.
of Dodge.
That's what I always said about Minneapolis and how bad that's gotten. I'm like, if you're a good person, just leave.
Just go.
Leave.
All right? Sell what you got. The prices are still high. And get the fuck out of town. There you go. There's a little drive down one street.
Do you know what that felt
in
like to me?
Philadelphia.
That felt like I Am Legend. That felt like the movie I Am Legend. That's it. They look like zombies. They're totally not there. They look non-human. That's disgusting.
Let's go to the audience here and see what they think about the whole thing. Yeah. Oh, wow. There's a lot here. Here we go. Well, Rupert with a quick joke, a little H.G. Wells humor here. I like his older brother, G.E. Wells. They make great washing machines. They do make a damn fine toaster oven. What movie is that from?
I don't know.
The Late Shift.
Damn it.
You know who played David Letterman in The Late Shift?
I'm sure you'll tell me.
John Michael Higgins. You know who played Jay Leno in The Late Shift? Daniel Roebuck.
It's gross, man.
It's not good. It's something
like I feel like there's something like dripping off of you when you say that shit. You feel diseased.
I actually think Daniel Roebuck is in the new Rob Zombie Monsters movie.
Oh, yeah?
Just letting you guys
Why don't
know.
you look it up?
Robert Miller says, that looks like a drive-through Malawi. No, I saw a couple of white people. KF says, yes, April, separate but equal. Based.
Oh, no.
Ryobi says, are you talking about a work camp?
A work camp?
Triple N says, are you saying a ghetto?
No, I don't think these people know how to work.
Oh, wow.
I don't.
What do you mean by these people?
Everyone who has needles in their arms shitting on the sidewalk.
That's mighty presumptuous
causing
of you.
disease. Watch the bubonic plague come back and it's from
You're
homeless
saying you don't think
people.
these people can weld?
No.
Piece of shit. Frosty Brew says we need a giant sinkhole. Or a middle-sized one. Whatever.
A middle-sized one.
Drew says the Wire would like to talk to you about that bad idea, Steel Toe.
That's funny. What does Brad has a point. What happens in the winter? Where do they go?
Wherever they want.
No, that's not good enough. Where do they go? Help me, because Philadelphia gets cold. Minneapolis gets cold.
We could build like an Arkham City for them, like in the Batman video game. What do you want from me? I'm trying my best.
I'm just saying
here.
These people literally, they're disease-ridden. They spread drugs around. They hurt people. They're mean. They don't contribute. In fact, they're like destroying cities. Tell me something good they can do.
What percentage of the population would you say is causing maybe half these problems?
Don't you dare.
Frosty Brew, you are not shadow banned at all, sir. I'm just way behind in the chat. Don't worry about it, buddy. Guys, just always assume if I haven't gotten to you, I'm probably way behind. You missed the white shirt guy at 22 seconds. Oh, ain't that the way it always goes? Thank you very much to Rupert for the $9.99 super sticker. We are 190 away from our goal today. Guys, we are inside that 200 barrier. We've got 20 minutes before we got to pass around the hat and see if we can knock out that goal tonight. 190 to go. There's the PayPal link. If you feel like chipping in, please do. Otherwise, super chats and memberships work as well. Work shall set you free. Use multiple languages this time. Yeah, April's got some ideas.
I do wish there was help for them. I wish that they could become productive members of society. They don't want to. Okay. Help. I don't know what else to say. Like, that is disgusting. I will never get caught dead in Philadelphia now.
But no, actually, you'll only get caught dead there. So odd use. Poor choice of words.
The homeless will roast me.
Yes.
And eat my essence.
Scram Inc. says, the guy who owned Sears. No. Daniel Roebuck, a totally different guy.
I love a Sears and Roebuck.
A different guy. Yeah, they're saying Daniel Roebuck is playing Grandpa Munster. There we go. See?
Grandpa.
He's been Jay Leno and Grandpa Munster. What a legend, Daniel Roebuck.
That guy was an ugly man.
Who?
The one who played Leno.
Daniel Roebuck?
Leno's more attractive than that guy.
How fucking dare you? I saw that. I forgot Jay Leno has a show now.
He has a game show.
Yeah. What is it called? Bet Your Life or Not on Your Life or something like that? Bet Your Life on it?
Something like that.
I think it's where...
It's a bet.
Yeah, you bet. And then if you lose, they murder you.
Bet.
It's a really weird kind of show.
Oh, you didn't?
You just... Yeah, no, I was making a different joke, so I wasn't fancying your fucking little thing you threw in there. Don't worry, the news informs us on all the tent fires in the winter. Oh, well, that's good. At least you'll know. Rain says, I will only donate if you divorce April legally and brutally. Well,
what the fuck?
I can't make that. He's a big Red Bar fan, so he says Red Bar type shit in the chat all the time.
Why does he want you to divorce
I
her,
like
though?
Rain, but he does a lot of that Red Bar. I want you to divorce her legally.
That's fine.
Which, by the way, Red Bar is way too sick to do that anymore. I don't think he does.
I haven't seen him go live for a while.
No. All right, guys, 190 away from that goal and about 15, 20 minutes away from passing around the offering plate. Let's see if we can get there. Robert Miller answered my question. He says 12.9%, Darren.
You know what? That sounds right.
There we go. All right, let's... I thought this was Madison, Wisconsin. It would fit this story so perfectly if it was Madison, Wisconsin, but it's not. It's Madison, Tennessee. However... it still holds as a pretty impressive feat. A gentleman got his 10th DUI recently and was arrested. Do you think he had a license when they pulled him over?
Gonna say no. I think he probably lost that after 3.
All right, let's check in on a man who has got. You know what? The guy doesn't quit drinking or driving or both at the same time.
Gotta admire his
moxie.
Moxie.
He's got some moxie. Let's take a look.
A citizen helped police track down an accused drunk driver, and this morning we're now learning that man has been convicted of DUI several times before. Our colleague...
4 is several.
Yeah, 10 is not several.
If you're on the news, remember this. 10 is a shitload.
What is wrong with news people today?
Yeah.
This morning was bad, too.
It's got many other times before. No, not many. 10.
Like an
Live
ass
for us there at the alert desk this morning with more on all of this. So, Carly, how many DUIs are we talking about here?
Yeah, Holly, not counting this latest charge here. Police say this driver has been convicted of driving under the influence 10 other times.
And because we're children, she has to hold out both hands like this.
Come on, guys.
So this is lucky number 11 for him.
Wow.
By the way, I want you to apply the same rules to this guy that you apply to guns. See, like everyone says, if we pass these laws banning certain guns or if we don't let these certain people have guns, well, then they clearly can't get them and they won't be able to hurt anyone with them. Right. Just like if we don't legally allow someone who's had 10 DUIs before to drive a car, they'll never drive a car again.
I'm on your side. Like, I'm kind of confused that he's even out of jail. Don't you stay in jail after that?
After a few of them. But
That's right. This is a few times too.
I think DUIs, I think they cap it at like a year. So he could be out.
I don't know.
This latest incident happened on State Route 45 near Archwood Drive. Police say the suspect crashed and then left the scene. A citizen followed him and police eventually caught up. Investigators say the suspect admitted to taking 4 shots before leaving his house.
Fucking pussy.
Why? Because driving just isn't fun without him.
I find driving to be kind of boring. I just kind of keep it 10 and 2 and stay in the lane and then get to my destination. I kind of want to Mario Kart it every once in a while, and I just need a few shots to, get the balls to do it.
It's just a challenge for you.
Yeah, I just need something a little more challenging. That's what my mom always said, too, in school. I just need to be challenged.
You need some stimulation.
Yeah. So I did some meth before I drove, too.
They say he was convicted of being drunk behind the wheel in Davidson County in 2003, 2006, and 2015. They also say he has 7 more DUI convictions between 1995 and 2000 in Arkansas, Georgia, and in Tennessee.
This guy really gets around.
This guy makes it. Boy, for a guy who's shit-faced driving all the time, he sure does cross state lines pretty efficiently.
Right, but did you die?
Right, yeah. Does he look? I know he has a rap sheet. Does he have a body count? Maybe this guy's a really good drunk driver. Well, no, in this case, he got in an accident. So
yeah, but did they die?
Right, probably not. He's fine. He's all loose from the booze.
That's the thing. They never die ever. Yep, real loose.
That's right. Innocents die all the time, but not the drunks.
I liked your gun analogy with this too, though, the comparison, because how many more people probably die in like car accidents and shit from drunk drivers? Or at least a lot.
That
Maybe
don't
not
have a
more
license
than,
because
but,
they've
like,
got many previous
they
convictions.
shouldn't be on the road.
For sure.
It's crazy.
2 of those were with a child in the vehicle, and this is also really upsetting. During this latest crash, the suspect had a passenger with him in the car. That passenger was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. The suspect is now facing a charge for aggravated.
Wait a minute. The suspect had a driver, had somebody else in his car who's now in the hospital for life-threatening injuries. Well, That's their fucking fault then. Why'd you let him drive?
Because he was their designated drunk driver, okay?
But I mean,
he's the best one.
If you're in the hospital and you're near death and this guy was shit-hammered and you didn't take the wheel,
I'm guessing that other one was plowed too.
I mean, isn't that kind of on both of you then?
Yes, it is.
Him and you?
He still gets to be charged with it, though, because he is the one who stepped behind the wheel.
All right.
Well,
I'm just saying that.
I'm guessing they were both super drunk.
I think this guy's totally innocent, the other guy.
He's not.
$190 away from our goal tonight. We're quite a ways away, and we've got 18 minutes left in tonight's show. So if you feel like contributing tonight, there's the PayPal link in the chat. Super chats and memberships count as well. Let's see if we can knock out that 190 and do an extra half hour of show tonight. I did see earlier numbers not really suffering that much from football.
That's good.
Just a tiny bit off the pace, not a lot. That could just be a
good deal.
I
wondered about
normal
that.
thing.
Ironically, though, if we were to move this night show to any other one, there's football on Thursdays and Sundays. So
yeah, Sunday night, Thursday night, doesn't matter. Citizen M says, sorry, you're dead wrong on the guns metaphor. Drunk drivers are continually confronted with the decision to drive drunk. Well, but that's what I'm saying about the guns. Like, people who have a record and all this other shit, they don't just go into a gun store and buy their guns legally. They find a way to do it illegally. Same thing with the drunk drivers. They find ways to do it even after their license has been suspended, and they take it away and they say you can't do it. I mean,
unfortunately for criminals and stuff, it's not hard for them to buy a gun illegally.
Yeah,
That's not hard.
The law just kind of keeps honest people honest.
Yes, it's just like the thing like I've talked about before with like locking your car door or locking your house at night.
Yeah.
If somebody really wants to break in, they will, but it's a lot of work for some, so they'll be like, shit, on to the next one.
I got Owen ripping on Gavin on Gavin's own network.
Really?
This is pretty ballsy. I don't know whose show he's on, but Misery Loves Clips on Twitter, who does a good job grabbing a lot of this drama stuff. Owen Benjamin just accused of Gavin McInnes of being an FBI informant on Gavin's own network. Owen's most explosive comments to date on censored.tv. So I don't know who this guy is that Owen's on with. Maybe he's like one of the Proud Boys.
Maybe.
I'm not sure. Maybe you guys can tell me. I don't know who this dude is, but he's interviewing Owen Benjamin. Owen went on Gavin's network and gave an interview about Gavin basically saying, I'm done with Owen. He's invisible to me. I've X'd him. He's done. This whole deal. Whereas Owen, look, I've said this before. I think everybody involved in this is funny. I think Owen is significantly more crazy than Gavin. I will give Gavin that. He is more normal than Owen Benjamin. However, I don't think Owen did anything wrong in this whole scenario. So Gavin, who was the creator of the Proud Boys have gone to prison. The FBI has investigated them. I mean, these guys have legitimately went to jail and been raided before. And then Gavin does a bit where he pretends that somebody's walking in on his broadcast, and the assumption is it's the FBI or it's law enforcement or something like that. Meanwhile, there's Proud Boys sitting in jail right now doing what Gavin told them to do. And meanwhile, Gavin, when those guys were in trouble, Gavin stepped away from the Proud Boys.
Bailed.
Now, you could argue that, Gavin was right and that with him stepping down, it would show that these guys weren't gang affiliated, so it would make it easier. They'd get a lighter sentence. Mm-hmm. I don't know how much I buy that, but I don't know enough about the law to call bullshit on it.
It might work.
I also think that, maybe it did help those 6 Proud Boys. I don't know.
Sure.
But I definitely know it helped Gavin.
He's fine, right?
Stepping down. And I know that the guy they replaced him with, that Enrique Tarrio of the Proud Boys, I know he's worked, he's been a good informant from what I've heard for the FBI in the past. So is Owen saying that Gavin's an FBI informant here? We'll take a listen. You can decide. But I mean, it's not, I guess, out of the realm of possibility, but I can't see Gavin doing
That's the sentence I was thinking too. It seemed,
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to hear what he says. But
we'll hear what Owen says here. But how about the balls on Owen to go on Gavin's network and talk about this whole thing? So Gavin does this bit. Owen texts Gavin and says, hey, what's up? Did you get raided? I got people that are writing blogs about this shit saying you might have got raided by the FBI or law enforcement. And Gavin goes, it's a prank. Don't tell anyone. And Owen then said, well, when are you going to tell people? He goes, I'm not. And Owen, has this weird sense of morality kicked in, and he goes, well, then I'm going to tell everybody.
I can't let this slide.
That this is a bit. And I was kind of on Owen's side on that one. Not because I give a shit about the Proud Boys that are in jail and if Gavin might have, triggered them or something like that, or it may have been in bad taste.
Sure.
I just think it's a shitty morning zoo radio bit.
It is,
and I hate
pretty
those.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, I just really hate those. So I'm for Owen in that sense. And for Gavin to go, I'm not friends with him anymore, I think that's a little bit of a petty response.
I do too. I could see it from Owen's side in a different way too. Like if people are messaging him constantly, asking him for updates and shit, and then Gavin won't actually come out and tell the truth or calm people down. Now Owen is paying for this.
Well, let's watch Owen on Gavin's network. And again, I don't know who the fuck this guy is, but Owen's doing his show.
You can completely differentiate that between Steve Bannon getting arrested or Alex Jones getting sued.
No, because Gavin McInnes has supporters in federal prison.
Yeah, and you know what?
He
raises money for every show. He's raising money for them. So far, almost $20,000.
You're not being honest.
How am I not being honest?
Because if a comedian has had his audience arrested because of the Proud Boys, it is a joke in bad faith and in bad taste. A lot of people wonder why Gavin's free because of RICO laws and all that. And so for him to make light out of the feds busting down his door in his studio and private property in America, that is not comparable to Andy Kaufman or Eric Andre or Zach Galifianakis, who just has they talk weird, they pretend they have a limp, or they're stuttering. He literally has listeners who are in federal prison. He did a joke about being arrested by the feds and allowed a lot of alternative media people to write about it.
He's not wrong. I mean, I'm having a hard time disagreeing with Owen here.
I know.
Like, Owen's whole thing is, look, Gavin made his fucking bet on this one, guys. I just ratted him out for it.
Yep.
And also him saying there's a lot of people wondering why Gavin never went to jail. What about Rico if this was a group and this and that? So Owen's kind of insinuating something there. Like, why is Gavin still out?
I feel like a lot of people have had that thought.
He's doing it kind of in a bitch way, though, that people do, where they're like, other people are wondering why. Yeah.
Other people is me.
Yeah.
All I did was say that, and that's it. And now he says he'll never be my friend and that I'm a pussy and I'm crazy. Nick Fuentes did a tweet or a telegram about how, that I'm a piece of shit for ruining Gavin's bit.
But what did he fake?
Who knows? That's the thing about these pranksters. You don't know once they start pranking.
It's kind of obvious. Like I'm
Fuentes
talking about. I'm talking about Gavin. It's pretty obvious with Gavin.
It's not obvious with Gavin. I mean, why isn't he in jail with the Proud Boys? Don't you understand how RICO laws work?
Oh boy.
Gavin.
Uh-oh. And kudos to Gavin for allowing this on his network.
I agree.
Holy shit.
I can't believe he didn't have this taken down or cut it.
Is Owen kind of saying that Gavin was a rat?
I don't know if I've read that far into it. I am getting, though, like, he did something. Why isn't he in jail?
Is he, like, accusing Gavin of being, like, controlled opposition? Or I don't know.
Gavin left the Proud Boys, like, 2 years ago.
After the people, he left the Proud Boys when there was a lot of heat on them and people were going to jail. RICO laws in America, the leader goes to jail. The head of the mafia doesn't get to quit right as people are going to jail.
So what are you insinuating? He's like has an in with the FBI or something?
I'm not even against the FBI.
So that's the end of that clip. They just replay that part. I don't know if Gavin's saying that, or if Owen's saying that Gavin is like a Fed or part of the FBI. I don't know if that's what he's saying. Owen gets on a roll and he gets on these rants and it's kind of hard to discern what he's saying.
He kind of gets in the weeds a little bit.
But he's definitely saying, he's definitely a little obsessed with the fact that Gavin left when those guys were going to jail.
Well,
so he's definitely insinuating something.
I've never really had much of a conversation about this, but when I heard about him leaving as soon as all the shit hit the fan, that I kind of had the same moment, like the head guy of the mafia doesn't just get to quit, like as soon as like everything goes bad. It does seem kind of fishy.
It's a little interesting.
I've had that same thought before, like why is he walking and all of his people are in jail?
Veldrain's right. Proud Boys also created that horrible Uhuru music video. That should be a crime.
That is criminal.
You're absolutely right.
I get that stuck in my head sometimes.
PH Header says, in all truth, Gavin gave up the bit when he told Owen. Right, you don't tell Owen shit. Owen's that friend you don't tell shit to. Owen will spill the beans.
Ooh, so did he want to get caught? Because he knows that.
Right. If you know that telling Owen is going to result in the bit being crushed,
you tell Owen.
Owen
could be the one to tell everyone so he didn't have to.
Robert Miller says, Owen looks like he was lost at sea.
I kind of like his look. It's just that farm look.
The legendary side effect says there will be more happy or sad on the internet in the future. Citizen M says this is not a joke. Incarcerated Proud Boys tried to contact Gavin through intermediaries to ask if the stunt was real. Gavin texted a selfie of him on his boat writing, "Can't talk now, driving." Oh, that's kind of a dick thing to do.
How do you get this information?
Yeah, I don't know. He should have gave it time to cool off and talk to him in person before getting online and raging. Which one? They both kind of went online and started raging.
I think Owen's done a little more raging.
Owen sounds really bitter. Owen's got a weird sense of morality, and he lives by it. So, yeah, he gets worked up over shit. Legendary Side Effect says, this is just something I don't find to be any issue of any sort. It is. It's 40 and 50-year-old men beefing with each other like children.
Over a really, really bad stunt.
Other people are saying they think Gavin cooperated. PH Header says, I think Gavin gave information. Oof. Boy, he'd never hear the end of it if that was true.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be the only thing keeping you out of jail?
Yeah, I guess.
That's what I think.
That would be the only thing. Boy. You know, a guy like Owen is just crazy. He's crazy enough to make you go, no, that can't be. But he's also just like well-spoken enough to make you go, well, that's interesting. I have never heard that before.
I know.
That's
You second guess yourself.
I gotta think about that one for a little bit. All right, guys, we have missed our goal so far tonight, so that means the last 5 minutes we will pass around the old offering plate.
We can do it
in the last 5 minutes, and if we hit our goal, it means that we're going to tack on another 30 minutes, an extra half hour to the end of the show. So there's the PayPal link in the chat. It's also pinned to the top of the chat. 185 away. That is a long way. Whatever we don't hit is going to roll into the next 2 evening shows, putting us behind the 8 ball a little bit show-wise. Let's go ahead and cue up the music and see if we can't knock out that goal tonight.
I have faith.
All right, here we go. Passing the offering plate around. 2 hours of a show for you. Now let's see what we can collect. Of course, this show does live on listener donations. That is how we keep all of our staff here and everything else. That goal represents what it takes for us to break even every night.
Keeps us going.
Let's see if we can get there. So you guys go ahead and throw in. Let's see how close we can get. Otherwise, of course, we can roll it into tomorrow. $5 from Jeremy on PayPal. Thank you very much, buddy. Appreciate that. It's going to knock us down to 180. A little round number there. There we go. Now it's updated. Sometimes during this last little segment, it's hard to keep this stuff up to date, but we'll do our best. 180 away from our goal and 4 minutes left in tonight's show. Let's see if we can get there on the first Monday Night Football evening show of the week. Nate says, April, does Aaron wash that maroon shirt in between use? I suspect he rewears the same shirt 3 times before washing.
I do wash it for him. It's a nice color on you.
Isn't that nice?
Guys, don't punish Aaron for me being gone part of the show. We can do it.
Jeremy is a no penis fathead, says No Pen 15 fathead. Well, we appreciate that. 180 away from our goal tonight. At this rate, it looks like we're upping the goals on Tuesday and Wednesday night by $90.
Sorry.
And seeing if we can knock that out. If you want to become a VIP, of course, $250 in a 7-day period. All of our merch, an entry into a $100 drawing. Every new piece of merch goes free right to your door. And you get 2 tickets to every live event that we do. All right, looks like we got 2.5 minutes left in this whole thing. Let's see if we can knock this out. Another one coming in, $10 from Jeff. That's what it's going to take.
Thank you.
A few people at $10 a pop is going to knock this thing out. 170 away from our goal this evening. It is possible to get there. Thank you, Jeff. And thank you, everybody who's chipping in tonight. YouTube,
Always.
Super Chats, memberships, PayPal. Couple of minutes left in tonight's show unless we hit that goal. And then it's going to be 30 minutes added to the end of tonight's program.
I'll wear a better shirt tomorrow. I sneeze.
Some of the stories we didn't get to. PNB Rock was shot at a Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle. I just thought there was so much going on with that story.
God.
We'll get to it in overtime if we hit it, but it's looking like
That's wild.
it's looking like we're going to come up short tonight unless a miracle happens here. A couple minutes left. What do we got? 2 minutes and 20 seconds away from the end. Flashed Coffee says Gavin's fake swatting was pretty lame. Yeah, that's kind of why I didn't mind what Owen did.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with it,
yeah.
especially since he told Owen that it was a joke.
And then he told Owen,
it was
I'm
a
never
prank.
going to tell. And Owen's like, well, fuck that then. I'll tell. I don't, because
why not?
he had people bugging the shit out of him.
I'm convinced that he wanted Owen to do his dirty work because he didn't want to own up to it.
No, I think he thought he was being like Andy Kaufman, and he was, he had a brilliant bit going. He was just going to keep it going as long as he could. All right, looks like we're 170 away. It looks like that's where we're going to end tonight.
All right.
Coming up real nice and short, a minute and a half left in today's show. Nate asking if rain is retarded. That is something that we're all looking into at the moment, and we will let you know what we come up with. We all suspect some things,
Maybe,
but we cannot confirm. If he is, He's one of the well-meaning ones.
I think so. I'm always happy to see Nate in here.
Yeah, it's always nice to see Nate. Let's see. There we go. All right, 170 away from the goal. Looks like it's going to be 385 for the next couple of evening shows. Oh well, can't win them all. Legendary Side Effect says keep streaming. We do a 2-hour show in the evening. I'm sorry. We come back at 6 o'clock Central Time.
Yes, come back in the morning.
Tomorrow morning, and hopefully we can hit the goal tomorrow morning. But there you go. 170 away, and time is just about running out. We thank you guys very much for coming with us tonight. We hope you enjoyed your time here as we're down to our last 30 seconds of tonight's show. If you feel like contributing later, if you want to hit the super thanks button, if you want to do whatever, we will put it towards tomorrow night's program. But otherwise, look, we come up short every once in a while. We'll see if we make do tomorrow.
Make sure you renew your memberships.
Yes,
it's that little dollar sign at the
absolutely.
bottom.
Jay Santos with 199 says more Jake. What's his face, please? No, no more
Jake.
No more Jake Hudson. Absolutely not. All right, guys, take it easy. April, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Talk to you tomorrow morning.